My name is Sean Campbell. I'm the manager of the Myanmar Information Management Unit. This is a unit based in Yangon in Myanmar, providing information management services for the humanitarian and development communities. So my own background, I'm a medical scientist. I'm not working at all in my field anymore like many others. And for the last 25 years, I've been working in development and humanitarian activities in many countries, including India. My last job, I was lucky enough to be based in Delhi, working with Save the Children. Prior to that, many years in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Bangladesh, the Balkans and Africa. The Myanmar Information Management Unit, we're known as MIMU, and our activities are to support humanitarian and development activities across the country. So we support all sectors, countrywide, humanitarian and development. Information management is about having enough information to make the right decisions at the right time. So it's not about having everything, it's about what's needed. So we give support in terms of providing information services, contact lists, meeting schedules. We do an overview every 6 months of which agencies are doing which activities in which part of the country. This is helping to improve coordination, avoid duplication, avoid resources being used where they don't need to be used. We also do a lot of mapping, and our mapping resources are helping in many different ways for agencies as well as for the wider picture. So some of our mapping products, we've done a mapping of media, for example, mapping of different types of education, so a lot of mapping resources. And one of the important things that we're doing at the MIMU is trying to map out all the villages across the country. So there are about 67,000 villages we know of, but currently we can only map 75% because we don't have the GPS coordinates. So the importance of digitizing this information so that we can then bring information on population, information on schooling, information on other factors, and put that alongside the village picture, then we can see which areas need more support. In Myanmar, there are many local agencies. The Red Cross is also very active, and more international NGOs coming in, especially since Cyclone Nagas in 2008. Reaching people is very challenging in Myanmar. There are many remote villages and many different languages. There are 135 different ethnic groups across the country, and currently the education sector is focused mainly in Myanmar language, which isn't always understood by many of the children in remote areas, so that's one of the many challenges. In my unit, with the mapping support we've done some mapping of monastic education, which is one of the big providers of education. The monasteries educate both the nuns and the monks, as well as many of the poor children. And they are also regulated increasingly within the government system. So that's the sort of thing that my unit can do. We are mapping out where this education is taking place, at which levels, how many children of different groups are in this type of education. If one organisation is collecting information and has codes for the villages, and another organisation is collecting with similar codes, we can put this information together and we can actually use it across organisations, across government, the government sector, private sector and others. So I think one of the most important things is standards of data collection, geospatial standards, which means knowing the GPS coordinates, knowing the exact location of a place, and that allows us to do a huge amount. Then we can combine data, we can analyse so much better, which is where information management can really make such a big difference. In Myanmar, for example, we have at MIMU, our website attracts more than 16,000 individuals a month to collect information that's supporting the aid work, humanitarian and development. So that's a very small slice of what can be done. The main important thing is that standards are used to collect data and that data is shared. So any data should be serving a purpose, and it can serve a much greater purpose if it's shared across organisations, with government partners, with local and other NGOs. Then a great deal more can be achieved. And I think this is the way forward in terms of coordination, in terms of avoiding duplication, in terms of making a much bigger difference for development and for the people of Myanmar and globally.